Okay, so this is a question from your October-November 2023 variant 2 question number 8 that we are doing this. And question number 8 of this is about a class of students. Like there is a class of students that are developing a program to send data between computers. Many computers are connected together to form a wide network. Serial ports are used to connect one computer to another. Each computer is assigned a unique three-digit ID, has three ports by an integer value, is connected between one and the three computers. Data is sent as individual message strings. Each string contains the destination ID, the ID of the computer that is to receive the message following by the data, destination ID and data. Messages may pass through several computers on the way to their destination. When a message arrives at a computer that is not the destination, the program needs to be forwarded into another computer using one of the serial port. The port to use is obtained from the information that is stored in the root table. Round root table is a global 2D array of integers. It is declared in pseudocode as follows. Declare root table array 1 of to 6, 1 of to 3 of integer. The values in the first two columns of root table defines a range of ID values. Column 3 gives the corresponding port number to use when forwarding the message to a computer within an ID range. For example, the contents of root table could be column 1, column 2, column 3. I have the rows in example. A message that arrives with a destination ID of 283. Destination will be forwarded using port 2. Message of 283. A message that arrives with a destination ID of 283 will be forwarded using port 2. Okay, so this is your port 2. This is also your port 2. And if there is a message of 283, that means that it is in this range or in this value. That means that it is going to be forwarded using this code. So they have given you some of the ranges. Raw 3 in the example shows an unused rows. That means that these are the rows that are not used. These may occur anywhere. Unused rows have the column 1's element set to -1. This is the starting. The value of the unused element in the other two columns is undefined. The programmer defined the first module as follow. Write the pseudocode for module get code. Assume destination ID contains a valid three-digit integer. Get code. Get code is taking a destination ID and returning a number. So first of all, for solving this question, I think we need to declare it as a function. Let me declare this as a function. The name of the function is your get code. It is taking this destination as your string, and it is also returning an integer value. First thing is that I'm going to have my function heading and ending with a return type. Second thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to convert my parameters to numbers. Um, so in the declaration part, I can take the index, the destination number and port. Declare your index, declare your port, and declare your destination number as integer. Take destination ID searches for the range corresponding to destination ID in this array. So your destination number is going to be string to number, whatever the value is in your this destination that you have declared right here. Now, what you are doing is that you are converting your parameters, your string to a number, and then I am going to apply a conditional loop with the usage of an array. So that basically I can escape the unused elements and I can attempt to check that if it consists in the range or not. So let me also initialize it index as my 1 and my port set as -1, because as stated into the question, this is the area where the programming is starting. So repeat if the contents of the root table, if root table index 1 is not equals to 1, then if your destination number is equals to your root table on whatever the value is in your index 1, and if it is less than whatever the value is in your index 2, then your port should be your root table index 3. These are the number of columns that I'm referring to, 1, 2, and 3, that if the root table index 1 is not equals to -1, if it is not at its starting position, then if your destination number is greater than equals to root table, whatever is the index position 1, and is less than whatever the value is in this range, like if there is a number that is 150 that is in between this range, that means that your root number is going to have the value from right here, because this is the same scenario that is given to you in this example. I have implemented the same of that right here, that if your destination number is greater than root table of index 1, if the value is greater than that, and if the value is less than that, whatever it is in root table 2, if it is in between of them and whatever your index value is going to be, then your root table should be indexed. So I'm going to further write here and if again index is index plus 1, index plus 1, and you should be keeps on doing it until your index value is equals to 7 your your port is not equals to -1. That means that the end of LA has not been reached, and you should be returning your port number and function. So this is it for the first part. Do you have any queries in this?
नहीं इसमें कोई मसला नहीं
Then in the B part, it says that copies of the same program will run on each computer. The program contains a global variable. Copies of the same program will run on each computer. The program contains a global variable myID of type string, which contains the unique ID of the computer in which the program is running. There are several copies of the same program that will run on each computer. The program contains a global variable myID of type string, which is containing the unique ID of the computer in which the program is running. When messages are received, they are placed on one of two stacks. Stack 1 is used for the message that have reached their destination, and stack 2 is used for the message that will be forwarded to another computer. Additional modules are defined as well. I need to write a pseudocode for module process message. Module stack message must be used. Process message and process message and stack message must be already used, but as stated, it is already written. That means that I do not require to return this. But as far as process message is concerned, I'm going to take a message as a parameter of type string. Ignore any message. Check the destination ID from the computer. Checks whether the destination ID is this computer or whether the message to be forwarded. Use stack message to add to the appropriate stacks and output an error if the message could not be added to the stack. So there is no returning here. So I am going to take it as my procedure. Procedure process message, and this is taken this message as a string. This message as string, and ignore any message. Extract the destination ID from the message. Destination ID. Check whether whether the message is to be forwarded. Use stack message or stack number. And stack messages takes two parameter, a string representing a message and an integer representing the stack number. Add the message to the required stack, returns true if the message is added, and returns false. So I should be taking here the destination from the message. Like for example, I need to extract the destination ID from the message. So I'm going to declare first of all this destination so that I can extract it. Then I'm going to declare the response so that checks whether and use the stack message to add the message to the appropriate stack. Let me show you right here. Procedure process message. This message is sent. Declare this destination as a string. Declare response as Boolean, either true or false. And declare whatever is your stack number is as integer. It was already stated into the question that the length of your message which you want to extract, it should not be more than 4 digits. Stack one is ignore any message with a zero length data field. So if the length of this message is greater than equals to 4, then this destination should be your left hand side of this message, comma 3. If this destination is same as my ID, then track number is equals to 1, else stack number is equals to 2, and if your final response is going to consist of your stack message where it should first be having this message, stack number, and just in case if the response is false, then output your message is discarded, and if and procedure. So I am reviewing it back again. In the C part, it is stating that you have some copies of the same program that you want to run on each computer. The program contains a global variable MID string, which contains the unique ID of the computer in which the program is running. When the messages are received, there are two stacks. Stack one is used for messages that have received their destination. Stack two is used for messages that will be forwarded to another computer. I have two different modules as well. It is stating me to write the module for process stack message. First of all, I started this by having it as a process message, and I have taken the value of this message as parameter. Now, in the second part, what I need to do is that I need to ignore any message with the zero length field. I need to extract the destination ID from the message. I need to check that if the destination ID is in the computer to be forwarded or not. If it is to be forwarded, then I need to use the stack message to add the message to the appropriate stack and output the error message if it is not into the stack. So this is the reason I have taken my this destination, response, and stack number. So just in case if the length of your message is greater than 4, that means that you are having you are testing that if the destination is within the computer. And so you are going to check it, the message that this destination is starting from the left hand side and your message should be of 3 length as per your question. So if this is the case, if it is meeting that condition that is stated into the question and your destination ID is your my ID, then you should be able to move that into your stack 1. And just in case if it is not the case, then you are going to move it to the stack 2. And in the last, you are going to record your response in terms of stack message with this message and stack number. However, if the response fails, then you are need to output an error message that your message is discarded and you have no room on your stack. Now right here, all of the conditions are meet that were required in this question. I've also outputted an error message. I have also used the stack message to appropriate stack, and I've also checked whether the destination ID in the computer is to be forwarded or not. So do you have any queries in the B part?
नहीं, इसमें तो कोई मसला नहीं है।
Last two questions, let's just complete them as well. The program contains a module get file which receives the text files sent from one another computer. Lines from the files are sent one line at a time. Each message contains one line and process message from part B module. Get file removes message from stack one and writes data to file. This is a problem. Under certain circumstances, file does not appear as expected. Assume that why a file is being processed, message, receive only message containing lines from the file. Describe the circumstances, explain the problem, and you need to explain them. So certain circumstances can be like, for example, the first and the best example that I can give you is, for example, if your stack is empty as stated into the question. If your stack is empty, that means that the stack is being read faster than it is being read to. The stack is being read faster than it should be. So there may be blank lines added to it. There can be certain more scenarios to that. Like for example, you can also write that if your stack is full, but you also need to explain that if it is full, so you can write that not all lines can be inserted and this might result in changes to the file. So this can be another reason. Suggest a more appropriate abstract data type that could be used to store the message that would not have the same problem. So I can say that queue, because in a queue, you have all of them into a line so that when one is completed, the next object goes on. So this is it as well, and I hope you do not have any queries.